It is an extreme honor to be here, to be with all of you, to be a witness and participant of everything that has made this moment possible. It's been quite a journey, quite a road, and it has been many acts of extreme generosity and courage that made this book happen. So I just want to applaud the moment. And you know, I know we've said thank you, but you know, we got to continue doing the thank you. So I really want to thank Modern Times, Rajasvini, Mayana, everyone that made this event possible, all of you for coming out, and my own Dr. Jones for producing the Austin Project and for moving this work and our lives forward. I am a writer that works in a theatrical jazz aesthetic, and for artists that work in a theatrical jazz aesthetic, you know, some of the tools that you use are the act of being present, as Omi said, your life, your very body. So the work comes from the bones and the blood of the moment. And so one of the ways that you access that is by being willing to be vulnerable and to take risks. Because as an artist working in a theatrical jazz aesthetic, you're trying to reach for something that you haven't done before, for something that you can kind of hear it, but you can't touch it yet. And so it requires that you be present and that you show up just open. And that is a lot of work. Back in the 90s, one of my teachers, Lori Carlos, I want to just name some of my teachers. Lori Carlos, who was the original Woman in Blue and For Colored Girls. Dr. Jones is one of my teachers. My daughter, Sonia Perryman, is one of my teachers. Daniel Alexander Jones, Raul Salinas, one of my teachers. But I was complaining, basically, back in the day, and Lori was like, she was like, you just need to, just go help somebody. And I was like, okay. And I had not really done workshops before, but I noticed that there were a lot of young hip-hop identified poets that were asking me questions, so I decided to make myself available, and I didn't know what I could offer them, but that was the beginning of me learning a lot about myself and learning how to facilitate. So it was a whole lot between that and this, but it really began with those young artists in my house and in a lot of other spaces. So I say all that to say that as anchor artists for the Austin Project, part of what we ask of people is to be present, to practice listening, to respect themselves and everyone else in the circle, and to hold space for each other as active witnesses as we strive to be more fully ourselves, more fully in our humanity, and more fully expressed. So my facilitation manual is in here, so I'm not going to read any of that, but I do want to read this little piece that I wrote, which is kind of like where I come from. But I'm going to start it with this quote from Lori. Because I have written White Chocolate, I can now speak about other things that are not autobiographical and that are also not in my child's voice, which I had been unable to do for a while. I have given voice to my matriarchal lineage. It is for those women who couldn't speak, for those women who were speaking for themselves but were never heard. Lori Carlos from Moon Marked and Touched by Sun, plays by African American women. Memphis, the home house, biscuits and gravy, my grandmother's laughter, Backyard parties, bid whisk and beer. Neck bones, greens and cobbler, sweet tea. Little Stevie Wonder, the staple singers, Jerry Butler, Cannonball Adderley. Great aunts, great uncles, cousins, dancing. Just beyond the tracks, there's blood. Los Angeles, my mother remembering, reaching forward. Cars, buses, exhaust, sirens, screaming, billboards, and concrete. Pork chops, potato salad, orange crush, sweet potato pie. Otis Redding, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, B.B. King, Aretha, the radio, up, up and away. My mother's laughter, the ocean, the waves, dancing. My mother dancing, her friends dancing, us children dancing, dancing new stories to life. I am from the blues. Hard times remembered, recounted like mantras, lest we forget. Chants about survival and daddies taken in the night. Moans in the subtext of dreams. With chicken frying, music loud, finger popping, and laughter, I learned how to tell stories from my family. See, jazz is a blood memory, something deep in the bones, a charge, a responsibility, a gift experienced. Like those stories, long before the books, the mentors, the theater, the words formed, there was my mother's laughter, and her mother's, and hers. Thank you.